and welcome to the video that no one asked for, but I'm gonna do anyway. Yeah, I've seen a lot of other Annie YouTubers do this, and I thought it'd be fun to do it too. Obviously you're not gonna see me with tall bookshelf upon tall bookshelf of manga and DVDs like, I don't know, like the Anime Man or Akidearist or anything like that. But yeah, I thought it'd just be fun to share what I've collected over the years and maybe like talk to you guys about what stuff you own, and I thought that'd be really fun to do. So yeah, in our friend group, I'm usually the one who has a DVD of something. If we want to watch something, I usually am the one who gets the DVD for it or already has the DVD for it, etc., etc. And everything that I have, from my DVDs to my manga to my little figurines and knickknacks and all that other stuff, is accumulation of many, many years. I started watching anime my freshman or sophomore year of high school. So all of this is an accumulation of 6 or 7 years worth of collecting, either buying it with my own money or having it be the only thing I ask for Christmas or my birthday. So yeah, I guess I'll just get started and show you the stuff I have on my shelf. Okay, because I am super organized and slightly OCD, my shelf is in alphabetical order. So we'll start off with some good old Attack on Titan. Yeah, I got part 1 and part 2 of season 1 because I bought these in my early stages of buying anime DVDs. This is before I knew it was just better to wait for them to put the whole season in one box set rather than buying it in parts, but I got 2 really cool things out of it, so there you go. I got season 2. I just got this recently for my birthday, so there's that. I haven't gotten season 3 yet. I'm working on it. It's gonna happen eventually. Then, of course, I got Attack on Titan Junior High, which I feel like everyone forgets about in terms of Attack on Titan lore, which I get it. Like, is it necessary to watch? No. But I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. It's just like a really fun romp. There's a ton of inside jokes, and it's very nice levity, especially after the sad parts of Attack on Titan. So if you haven't seen Attack on Titan Junior High, please watch Attack on Titan Junior High. It is very funny. And then this, I can't exactly remember where I got this. So I do, but anyway, this is Attack on Titan Before the Fall, part 1, I think. I think it's like the first book in like a trilogy or something, but it's a light novel of Attack on Titan, and I haven't read it yet. I've had this for years, but I haven't read it yet. But I think it's about the guy who develops the 3D maneuver gear. And I think I got this for free when I ordered something from Funimation's website. I don't know what DVD I got it with, but I got it for free, and I haven't read it yet, so there's that. Okay, next on my shelf is Angel Beats, the complete series I got. I bought this was before like Netflix and Hulu had a lot of anime in their libraries, so a lot of the new shows I watched were stuff I could find the DVDs for cheap. So I got this at an FYE. I don't know if anybody knows what the hell FYE is, but anyway. And then, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is signed by Greg Ayres, who is the English voice actor for, I can't remember the character's name. It's the guy who thinks he's God. He plays that guy. And I got this signed at a con, and it says "See you later" because he's an asshole and he likes to make me cry with his signatures. And then up next, this is one of my prized possessions, y'all. I have Anohana, The Flower We Saw That Day, the Blu-ray box set from Aniplex, which cost me out the ass to buy. If any of you are familiar with Aniplex or buying anything from them, you know that they steal your money for all it's worth. And yeah, but they sell really nice products. So yeah, this was the birthday present I was talking about. But yeah, it's like a solid box, and it comes with this really pretty art. And of course there's the Blu-ray and everything, but then it also comes with an art book, which is really cool. And you can see it has all this fun stuff. And so I think much of the cost comes from the art book and also the extra pretty packaging. And I know Aniplex sometimes will give like CDs and stuff and extra shit with their DVDs, so I guess that's part of the price or whatever. But if you haven't seen Anohana and don't want to pay out your ass for the Blu-ray, it is available on Netflix in both English and Japanese, I think. So please watch Anohana if you haven't. It's only 11 episodes. Please watch it. Okay, and next on my shelf is I have Avatar, the DVD box set. I didn't get the Blu-ray box set because I bought this before the Blu-ray box set came out, but that's fine. It's still a cool box. And then I also have Legend of Korra. Now you might be wondering, why did I put this on my anime shelf? Well, I own a few American animated series that are rather highly acclaimed. And sometimes I feel like even if you don't want to categorize, whether you categorize Avatar and Legend of Korra as anime or not, they're still very highly acclaimed shows. They're still very well written shows. So I put them on the shelf regardless because it's my beautiful animation shelf. So I actually haven't watched all the Legend of Korra. Spoiler alert. I got about halfway through and kind of got bored. Sorry, like it's not a bad show. Like it's, I don't think it's trash. It's just I got bored, so I stopped watching it. So there's that, and then I got season 1 of Black Butler, the classics. Too bad they didn't make a second season of this, because I would have bought it if it was good. And then Book of Circus was okay when I watched it. I didn't think it was worth buying, so I just have season 1. So there we go. And we're in the C's now. I have all of Code Geass on DVD. And again, this was before Code Geass was put on everything for streaming. And when I originally bought this, because obviously I was trying to get through all the anime classics, like to at least say I'd seen them. However, I didn't know if I'd like Code Geass or not, so I just bought R1 on DVD first. And if you guys have watched Code Geass, you know that R1 leaves off on the worst cliffhanger in like the history of anime. So I just had this DVD with nothing to go off of, so I like begged my mom to drive me to the local anime store so I could buy R2 on DVD. So I have those two. And then I also have the OVAs, Akito the Exiled, which are, they're pretty good. It's okay. I suggest, like, if you do love Code Geass, I do suggest at least giving this one watch through, because it's still like the Code Geass animation, and it's really good. It takes place in between R1 and R2, I believe. So there's that. And then of course, you have to have the classic. I got my Cowboy Bebop and the Cowboy Bebop movie, the Steel Blu-ray. This actually does have a special place in my heart, because I bought this literally right after Funimation got the rights to this and released it on DVD, and this was the very first DVD I bought at a convention. So yeah, it's a classic. If you haven't watched Cowboy Bebop, what's wrong with you? And finishing out my first shelf, the first half of my shelf, I got Death Note, the full series. I did watch the full series before I bought it on DVD. I just figured, like, I gotta have it. So there's that. There's not much to say about that. I have it. And then I feel like no one talks about this show anymore, which is really weird because it was such a big deal when it came out. I have both seasons of Free. This was actually my very first sports anime. Little, like, 15-year-old me watching Free. It's no longer my favorite sports anime because I've seen Haikyuu now. But I think Free still holds, like, a special place in my heart. And I feel like no one talks about it anymore, so what the hell's up with that? Okay, taking a break from DVDs for a second, I'll show you some of like the little knickknacks and figurines I have on my anime shelf. So, because I'm a weeb, it is essential that I have at least one Deku figure. This is actually my first anime figurine that's not a Funko Pop, which, like, you gotta start somewhere. This is like one of those Deku figures you could literally get anywhere for like 20 bucks. And I think this one's kind of broken because it won't even like fit on the stand all the way, but I got him. I got my boy, so there we go. And then I'm not quite sure what exactly this is, but my friend Maddie gave it to me for my birthday one day. It's really cute little Japanese figure. I'm not even sure what it says, but it's a cute little thing I got on my shelf. And then this, I love this. So one of my favorite Ghibli films is The Wind Rises, which I feel is one of the more underrated ones. It's not really considered in in Studio Ghibli's like higher canon, but I love The Wind Rises. And so my friend Hannah for this past Christmas got me this beautiful, I don't even know where she got this, but I don't know if she made it or if she bought it off Etsy or something like that. But it's a beautiful, it's like that main image everybody knows from The Wind Rises, in front of some sheet music. And I also took a history of opera class, so I really love opera. And the sheet music is from an old Italian opera. You can tell because it says Pantalone et Colombine, which are some old Italian Commedia dell'arte characters. There's some opera trivia for you. Okay, we're getting into my big collection, y'all, because we're in the Full Metal Alchemist section now. Like many people, Full Metal Alchemist was my very first anime. The original. I actually did watch the original series first. And this is like when Funimation had like the entire freaking series on your YouTube channel, so I watched it all on YouTube. But yeah, I got the Blu-ray. I got this Blu-ray, the complete series, at a convention. It was right before Funimation lost the rights to the original series, and right before like all of these started going out of print. So like, glad I got this. That was really nice. And of course, I also have the original OVAs and the Conquer Shambhala movie, which everyone shits on the original FMA and the Conquer Shambhala movie. I still think they're great. However, of course, going on the huge original FMA versus Brotherhood debacle, which, of course, I do have Brotherhood. Yes, I do. I think Brotherhood is the more coherently written and put together series overall, but I do believe they are separate entities that should be treated separately, and I think they're both very good in their own rights. And then, of course, I got the Brotherhood OVA collection, and I actually do have the Sacred Star of Milos movie, because while the animation cannot be well compared to Brotherhood, or the story be compared to Brotherhood, and it is just one of those anime movies that you can completely do without, it has nothing to do with the series proper, I still think it's a fun little thing, and it's a cool cover. So yeah, I got Sacred Star of Milos. And then I got a cute little Al plushie, because we love Alphonse Elric. Favorite Elric brother right here. And then, of course, again, a weeb staple. You gotta have a pocket watch. And and I don't even think this works. Like, it's got the inscription and everything. I don't even know if you can see it. Kind of. But I don't even think this works. It's just a little knick-knack. So that's my FMA section. at least in DVDs. We're gonna get to the manga later. Going back to me saying that I keep a lot of American animated shows on my anime shelf, I have the complete collection of Gravity Falls, which, blasphemy, I actually have not watched Gravity Falls yet. I saw the first, like, 2 or 3 episodes when it was first originally airing, when I was like, I don't even know, when did this come out? When I was like 12 or 13 or whenever it was, and I just need to sit down and watch it proper. That will happen eventually. And then, because I am one of these weebs, I do have every single season of Italia. Italia was another one of my first anime, and it's so weird, and it's so interesting, but I had to get it. This is like This is the 10th anniversary box edition, and it has all the first 4 seasons, so Axis Powers and World Series, and then it also has the movie Paint It White in here. And let's go on what's also special, because this one also has an art book. If I can freaking get it out, maybe, possibly. I don't think it's gonna let me get it out, but there is an art book in here, and it's really cute. And I think it's funny that it also gave me a copy of Paint It White in here, because I already had a copy of Paint It White, so I have 2 copies of the Italia movie, so there's that. Getting into the superhero section of my anime shelf, I have My Hero Academia, seasons 1 through 2. I recently actually got into My Hero the past couple months, so I do not have season 3, and obviously I don't have season 4 yet because they haven't released that on DVD, but I will eventually get those. That's gonna happen. And then I got the limited edition copy of season 1 of One Punch Man, and since of course it is a limited edition, it's another fucking art book. Well, I say it's an art book. It really is it's a notes book, and they have like memos on like the world and how the world works, and certain character bios and stuff like that, and stuff from the director and the voice actors and all that good stuff. So it's not just an art book, it actually has like that cool stuff in it. So that's cool. And I got this for cheaper than the Anohana one. What the fuck is up with that? Okay, next up in the lineup we have Orange, which is such an underrated show. No one talks about this show enough. No one has seen it. It's a beautiful show. It's only 13 episodes long. I believe the only place that's really available for streaming is on Funimation. Crunchyroll may have it, I don't know, but please, if you have the opportunity to watch this show, it is so beautiful, and it really delves into mental illness and suicide, and it really is a beautiful show. So please, if you have the opportunity, watch this. On a lighter note, Oran. There's no story behind this, I got it. Next, another American animated show that I had to get on DVD was Over the Garden Wall, which is a Cartoon Network miniseries from like 2013 or something like that. I watch this every single Halloween. It is just the right amount of creepy, especially for somebody who doesn't like horror movies, me. And it's available on Hulu if you want to watch it, so please watch Over the Garden Wall. Next, another Aniplex DVD I paid out the ass for, but I had to do it because it was my favorite show of 2019, and I just had to get it on Blu-ray, was The Promised Neverland. This is a beautiful box. I don't know if you could tell, because obviously the artwork's pretty, but it's got like that iridescent like golden font, which I love. My only qualm is I'm like super protective of all my stuff, so I like all my DVDs to not be scratched up or bent, and it came with like a bent freaking corner. That bugged me, but it's still a pretty box. I paid like 120 bucks for this, so if you're willing to pay 120 bucks for stuff, here you go. And then of course comes with an art book. I'm not entirely sure wait, I thought I just made a connection. I don't think I did. It says Minerva Confidential Report. I have not read the manga, by the way. I'm not typically a manga reader. I usually don't read, like, if there's like a hiatus between seasons, I'm not a person who's gonna go read the manga. So I have not read the Promised Neverland manga, so please don't spoil it for me in the comments if you want to. But yeah, it's got character drawings and everything. It's got I think this part's really cool because it has interviews with both the Japanese and the English voice actors, which I think is really cool. And yeah, if you haven't watched The Promised Neverland, what the hell are you doing with your life? Please go watch The Promised Neverland. It's on Funimation and Hulu. Go watch it. I think the only place you can watch it dubbed, though, is if you get the DVD. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. So, Promised Neverland. And then another show that I think no one knows exists is Romeo X Juliet. See, I got the save. This was originally my sister's and she just gave it to me. But yeah, it is an anime adaptation of the Shakespeare play. It is wildly different from the Shakespeare play, but I love it anyway. This came out in like 2007, so much so that it was made by a studio that no longer exists. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. And again, the only place you can stream it is on Funimation. So I do suggest you give it a shot. And if you want to, I actually do suggest watch this in English, because the dub actually tries to utilize Shakespeare in English in the dub. So that's really cool. So, woo. Next, we got complete collection of Soul Eater. Yeah, there's not much to say about this. This is one of the first anime DVDs I actually bought, was this whole box set. So that's really cool. And it was also another one of my first anime. I feel like this is a lot of people's, at least like one of their first. So love Soul Eater. Hate Soul Eater not. That's just my opinion. If you like Soul Eater not, that's you, but I didn't like it very much. Next we have another classic, Steins Gate. Again, have not watched Steins Gate Zero. I'm not sure if I ever will, but Steins Gate, it's one of my favorite shows. Got this, so there's that. And then Trigun. I really like this especially because I love, obviously this design on the cover is really nice, but then you go to the actual DVD and it's like an old school Western poster, and I love that. But everyone talks about Cowboy Bebop as like a must-see 90s anime, which it is. Definitely go watch Cowboy Bebop, but I feel like Trigun is definitely another one of those. Especially because this was, if you're familiar with English dubs and English voice actors, this was Johnny Yong Bosch's first ever anime role, so, and he does incredible in it. So yes, Trigun is another staple. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. Okay, rounding out the series that I own, I got Voltron Legendary Defender. Now I know what you're thinking. Why, if it is on Netflix, do you have it on DVD? Well, I like to collect things. I like to have things physical if I like it. And this is only seasons 1 through 6. They haven't released seasons 7 through 8 on DVD yet. And I know some people don't necessarily care for season 7 through 8 of Voltron, but I didn't mind it. I get why people have a problem with it, I really do. And I'm not acting like it's an unproblematic show, but I still like it. So, then I got Wolf's Rain, which is probably, besides the original FMA, this is my favorite like early 2000s anime. It is so artistic. It's a lot of the same people who made Cowboy Bebop. So if you haven't seen Wolf's Rain, please watch it. It is glorious. It is beautiful. And I never realized how much I miss cell animated anime until I watched this, or Cowboy Bebop, or the original Full Metal, or stuff like that. So Wolf's Rain. And then finally, ending out the alphabet with a show that starts with a number, we have 91 Days, which is like Orange. I think it's a show that not many people know about and not many people have seen. But this show is badass. It takes place during Prohibition and deals with the mafia and the mob and revenge. Of course it does. It's really short. I think it's only like 11 or 12 episodes, something like that. Oh, 13 episodes. And it's very good. So please, I haven't watched Gangsta, but I feel like if you watched Gangsta, you'll like this, probably. I don't know. So, that's all the series that I own. Okay, we have finally moved on to films that I own, which is just about as much as series. So, we're starting off with a curveball. We got some Pokemon movies in this room. I feel like a lot of people own this 4-movie set. It's Pokemon Heroes, Forever, Destiny Deoxys, and Jirachi Witchmaker. All of which I think I've only seen once. These were like, I think it's really funny. These are all the Pokemon movies I did not watch as a child. And you can see this is also signed. It is signed by Eric Stewart, who is the English voice of Brock and James. Or at least he was in the early days. I don't know if he does it anymore. But so there's that. And then, of course, I got some classics. I have Ghost in the Shell, the 1997 original. Yeah, there's not much to say about this. I've always thought this is very weird DVD art. This must have been like really one of those early DVDs, because I don't know, the design on this cover really weirds me out. Otherwise, good movie. I like it. It's a classic, so there we go. And then I have Akira, because it's a classic that everyone needs to watch at least once. But here's the thing, boom! Not only do I have the DVD, but I have the VHS of Akira. Which, funny story, I got this VHS before I got the DVD. And I just found this VHS at Goodwill, I think. And it only has the dub that was done in the 1980s. Which, if you're familiar with dubs that were done in the 1980s, they are not very good. But I watched it anyway. So this was my first subjection to Akira. I still thought it was very good. But I was laughing at the dub. And so I was really grateful when this 25th anniversary DVD came out. It not only has the original 80s dub, but it also has the new dub that they did in the early 2000s, and of course the original Japanese version. So I got two copies of Akira. I don't know. Maybe this is gonna be worth money someday. I don't know. Okay, and of course, like any good weeb should, I do own Ghibli films. I'm not gonna get them all out because there's a lot of them, and I do own 98% of them. The only Ghibli films that I do not have on DVD are Ocean Waves, Only Yesterday, and Porco Rosso. Which, and then I've seen Only Yesterday, but I actually haven't seen Porco Rosso or Ocean Waves. So those are on my list. I do hope to complete my Ghibli collection. But other than that, I do own all the films. In addition to that, I also own the documentary, The Kingdom of Dreams and Madness, which, for those who are unfamiliar, this was a documentary made in 2013, or before 2013, I should say. But it was made and shot in Studio Ghibli during the creation of The Wind Rises and The Tale of Princess Kaguya. And it is super interesting, and it's a wonderful documentary. I believe it's available on Amazon Prime to rent or buy if you want to, but it's really good and I highly recommend it. I have not seen the other documentary, which is Never Ending Man, Hayao Miyazaki. I haven't seen that one yet, but I'm hoping to soon, so... that's my Ghibli DVD stuff. And then a little Ghibli thing. My sister got this for me for Christmas, and she always complains that she doesn't know what to get me. And she's like, I fooled you. You're not going to know what I got you for Christmas. And I was really concerned. And I opened the box, and it's a little tuft of fur. And my first thought was, this bitch got me a troll. But no, it's a little stuffed calcifer. And he's my favorite thing in the world. And I'm not entirely, I believe she got this on Etsy, and I believe they're custom made, so it was a little pricey, but don't quote me on where she got this, because I honestly don't know. She said there weren't a lot left. But I love him. You can shake him and yeah. I can just imagine Billy Crystal's voice coming out of him. But yeah, this is honestly like kind of embarrassing, but this is probably like the best gift she's ever gotten me. And okay, before we continue with the movies I own, we are gonna show some more of the little anime collectibles I got. Because I mentioned I have the Ora on DVD. Of course I have an Usa-chan. He's a little deflated in this arm. I don't know how that happens, but I got my little Usa-chan, and I love him. He sits on my bed every day. My niece loves him, even though she's never seen Oran, so there's that. And then, a little bit, I don't own a lot of Funko Pops, but I do have a couple. I do got me my Yuri on Ice. Oh, he's gonna fall, that's fine. But I got my Yuri, I got my Yuri-O, and I got my Victor. I actually don't own Yuri on Ice on DVD. I probably should get it though, because I do love Yuri on Ice. So I got my figure skating boys on Funko Pop, so there we go. Okay, next we have two of my favorite anime film directors that are mostly everybody's. I have my Mamoru Hosoda collection. So we got The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, we got Summer Wars, Wolf Children, and Mirai. The only Hosoda film I don't own is The Boy and the Beast, which is going to be added to my collection. I have seen the film, I just don't own it. And Wolf Children was actually the first anime film I ever owned. I owned this before I owned any Ghibli film or anything like that, and I also bought this at a convention, and I bawled my eyes out, so... as most people do at Wolf Children. So there's that. And then of course there's the wonderful Makoto Shinkai. I have 5 centimeters per second, and of course your name. I don't own Garden of Words either. Again, I have seen Garden of Words, but I do not own it. I think I can't actually remember which one of these I saw first, in all honesty. But obviously Your Name, it's one of my favorite films of all time. It's what got this channel over 70,000 views. So there's that, and obvious reasons. And of course, I guess I don't own Weathering with You either because it hasn't been released yet. And no, I have not seen Weathering with You. The group is going to be watching it in the fall, hopefully. So there's that. But I do not own it and I have not seen it yet, so no spoilers, please. And 5 centimeters per second, it was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be, but yeah, I don't know. Am I the only one who's kind of underwhelmed by this film? Like, it's not bad, but I don't know. Like, it wasn't as good as I thought it'd be. I don't know. We're not gonna talk about that, but I love Makoto Shinkai, so I have both of these. So those are those. Okay, now we're moving on to my G-Kids collection and like all the other movies that aren't like specific to Ghibli or anything like that. We have Miss Hokusai, which the group is watching in the fall, so get ready for that. We have Napping Princess, which I feel a lot of people don't really know about. It's not like Ghibli, like it's not a masterpiece film, but it's cute, and I do recommend that everybody at least give it a watch, because it is really cute and it deals with like imagination and dreams and all that good stuff. So please watch this. The group actually has watched this, so that's fun. Mary and the Witch's Flower, which is a Hiromasa Yonebayashi, who directed When Marnie Was There at Ghibli. And of course I feel like a lot of people have seen this. It's on Netflix. And this is actually the first anime film I ever saw in theaters, so that's really nice because it gives you great Kiki vibes. And then I kind of bought this by accident. I have Fireworks, which I was fooled because it says by the producer of Your Name, and that immediately fooled me because I'm like, oh, it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be like Your Name. It looks like it has pretty animation. This movie is shit. I mean, if you like it, that's fine. Like what you want, but it's not a great film. If you don't believe me, watch it on Netflix. It is on Netflix. It's not great. It's very confusing. It's all over the place. I don't know. So yeah, I bought this by accident, and now I'm stuck with it. So this is like the only purchase I like regret. God damn it. Okay, finishing out. Is this finishing out films? Yes, it is. We have In This Corner of the World, which is also on Netflix, and it's a beautiful war film. I believe it is on par with Grave of the Fireflies for me for war films. It's still depressing, but it's a lot less depressing than Grave of the Fireflies is. So if you like Grave of the Fireflies, please watch this. And the art style is very unique, and I think it does a great job at showing everyday wartime life in Japan. So this is a beautiful film. This is actually a Chinese animated film called Big Fish in Begonia. It was dubbed by Funimation. I don't really know how to describe this film. Again, it's kind of like Napping Princess. It's not like a masterpiece, but I do suggest people watch it because it is beautiful in its own right, and it deals a lot with Chinese lore and stuff, and like it was stuff I hadn't been introduced to. So yeah, this is a very interesting film. Of course, Silent Voice, another great staple that everyone must own. Penguin Highway, which the group is watching again in the fall. It's a cute little film about like imagination and penguins and yeah. And then Makia, When the Promised Flower Blooms, which is another film that I don't think a lot of people really talk or see much about. Even though this is, guys, I don't think you understand. This film has an 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and no one talks about it. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful film. Like, if you like Wolf Children, this is another movie like that about like motherhood and like different kind of love and motherly love and all that good stuff. It is beautiful. It made it, like, I wish I had recorded when the group was watching this because we got some good reactions out of this. But like, it was kind of the reactions where like, everybody was like silently crying, like no one was saying anything because everyone was too enraptured by what was happening. So yeah, so that is my movie collection. So now we're gonna move on to manga. Okay, so I have very recently delved into the world of manga. So I do not have as many manga as I do DVDs. And in addition to that, I'm trying not to get really long manga series, or like if it's a manga I know has an anime, like I'm just gonna watch the anime first, and if I like the anime, then I'd like to collect the manga, maybe. So, and just for like keepsakes kind of, if I have like a DVD of a show, I'm like, oh, it'd be cute to have like the first volume of the manga just to have with it as like a collector's thing, if that makes sense. That might be really weird, but I do it anyway. Okay, so of course, to start off my manga, we have Full Metal Alchemist. So yeah, this is just the first volume of Roma Arakawa's beautiful, beautiful story. I just have that, but I also have the compacted volumes. You know how they have like these like compacted volumes? I'm hoping to get all of them, but these were originally my sister's, and she had them signed by a few of the, and drawn on by a few of the voice actors, I think. This is just funny to look at, I suppose. It's to the point where I can't really tell who signed this. We have, I know that's Sonny Strait, who plays Hughes in the English dub. I see Chris Kaysen, who plays Gluttony. Todd Haberkorn, who plays Ling, signed over here. This is more kind of marked up than this one is. So there's that. I'm hoping, this is definitely one of the series where I'm hoping to get all of the manga. I'd like to get all of them. And then, I don't own Your Lie in April on DVD, but I have the first volume for whatever reason, because I would like to get Your Lie in April on DVD at some point. But again, it's owned by Aniplex, so I'm gonna have to pay out my butt to buy it on DVD. But I have the Your Lie in April first volume, and it's definitely, I love this show, because if you can't tell, I'm a huge music-oriented person, so I love Your Lie in April. So there's that. First volume of Ouran High School Host Club. Again, this is one of the manga I'd like to get all of, to read the whole thing, because we know where the anime left off. Can we just pull a Fruits Basket with Ouran? Because I love the Fruits Basket reboot, and I'm like, can we just get a reboot of Ouran and just do the whole thing this time? I'd love that. And we got One Punch Man, Volume 1. We love it. I already, like, and just so you know, I, like, bought these for collector's sake. I actually haven't, like, read through any of these yet. But I already, like, I see some stuff in this manga. I'm like, that wasn't in the show. I probably should actually read this. And then, the only manga that I have that have to do with the movies that I own, I do have the 3 manga adaptations of Your Name. I am eventually going to get the Silent Voice manga, which I know the Silent Voice manga came before the movie, but this is the manga adaptation of the film Your Name. So here are like all the like the adaptations I have. Moving on, I have the first 2 volumes of Erased by Kei Sanbei. I have seen the anime. The anime is what got me into this, and I'm hoping to get the full manga of this, because there's 5 volumes of the manga. And I'm hoping to get the anime too, but again, Aniplex, out my butt. So for now, I'm just getting the manga. So there's that. And then a new manga series that I just got into. As far as I know, it has no anime adaptation because it's now serializing. It's called For the Kid I Saw in My Dreams, and it's also written by Kei Sanbei, the author of Erased, which is what originally drew my attention. I'm like, oh, it's the same guy who did Erased? Hell yeah, I'm reading it. And it's basically about a guy who is, it's kind of on the same lines as Erased. It's a guy who has like a psychic link to his twin or so. I don't know. I actually haven't read it in a few months. I need to reread it. But it's a guy who has a psychic link to his twin, and he's trying to solve his twin's murder, or like find his twin. Because I think it's the kind of thing where like he doesn't think his twin's actually dead or something like that. And I just recently got the 2nd volume that I have not read yet. So I need to reread that because I love this mangaka. And then next, I only have the first volume of this, but it is Ron and the Grey World. And if you're looking at this cover, the artwork is the only reason I bought this. I did not even look at the summary. I just picked it up to read it. And I don't know if any of you have heard of this. It's about basically a little girl who has a normal family for the most part. Her father is normal, and she has an older brother. And this is the main character, Ron. However, in reality, she's like a 5-year-old girl, and her mother is a witch. And her mother leaves behind these magic tennis shoes. And when Ron puts on these tennis shoes, she turns into this beautiful young woman. And the only reason she does this is so, like, her dad doesn't have to tell her what to do, and she can do whatever she wants, because she's a grown-up. And, yeah, I've only read this, first, volume, but it's actually, it's very interesting, but of course, the whole thing about a 5-year-old being in a grown woman's body kind of gets a little weird, and kind of gets her into trouble. I'll probably continue it, like, this artwork's beautiful, so there's that. And then another one that I've recently got into is Our Dreams at Dusk, which, again, I just recently bought this second volume. I haven't read it yet. But this is a very cute LGBTQ manga, and it's just about this boy. It's a coming-of-age story, really, and it's about this boy who's, like, trying to come to terms with his sexuality. And, of course, from my understanding, Japan is very conservative when it comes to LGBTQ stuff, so it's very interesting to see the LGBTQ community in Japan, like, outside of how it's usually portrayed in, like, anime and stuff like that. So this is a very good manga. I believe there's only, like, 4 or 5 volumes of it currently, and I'm hoping, again, to read the second volume really soon, so please read these. Finally, we've reached the OneShot manga that I own. This is the end of my collection, so here we go. Caterpillar Girl and Bad Texter Boy by Sanzo. I came across this in Barnes & Noble one day, thought it looked interesting, picked it up, and it's interesting. It's basically about this girl who is kind of rejected by her childhood friend / crush. And the reason he rejects her is because he says, you're too perfect, you're too pretty, you're too smart, like, there seems to be no flaws about you. And to solve this, she goes to a shrine and prays to the shrine god that she just wants to make this boy happy, and so turn her ugly. And so the shrine turns her into a giant caterpillar. And the manga is told from the boy's point of view, by the way, and so it's him feeling super guilty that he made her do this, and him trying to fix it and trying to live with it. And yeah, it's funny in some parts, but it also gets low-key kind of depressing. But yeah, like, if that sounds interesting to you, read this. Next is a one-shot I've seen a lot of people have, and that's The God's Lie by Kaori Ozaki. This is basically about a young boy who spends his summer with his classmate and her little brother, and just dealing with, like, little kid stuff. Like, they're just at the thrust of their independence, starting to gain independence in their early teenage years. And there's some darkness in this. I think Aki Dearest talks about this manga in one of her Otaku Monthly favorites, and I think she can do this more justice than I do. But yeah, this manga's really good, and I highly recommend it. Next is actually Makoto Shinkai manga, Voices of a Distant Star, and I think they made an anime of this. I haven't seen it, but it's a one-shot, and it basically takes place, there's like an interstellar war. Again, I read this so long ago, it's been a while, so I can't remember the plot very well, but it's like an interstellar war, and it's these two friends turned lovers who are kind of like separated by it. And yeah, it's a Makoto Shinkai story. Of course, it's gonna be kind of like all this good stuff, and I like it because there are some color pages in there sometimes, so that's really nice. So there's that. And then rounding up my one-shots, I got me some 2 Satoshi Kon manga. I have Opus and Tropic of the Sea, which I actually have not read Tropic of the Sea yet. I actually just recently got it, so I haven't read it yet. But Opus, oh my god, y'all, this is like one of my favorite manga ever. Ironically, if you don't know who Satoshi Kon is, he directed some films like Tokyo Godfathers and Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress, all of which I have not seen. I actually have not seen a Satoshi Kon film, but he started out in the world of manga, and this manga is brilliant. It's basically about a mangaka who kind of gets sucked into his own world, and it kind of deals with questions of like, who's the creator? Do we really have like control over our own lives, or is someone writing our own? It's like the Matrix type shit, but it's an amazing manga, and I highly recommend you read it. It's so good. Like it's a big read, but like it's so good. And then Tropic of the Sea, I bought on a whim because I loved Opus so much, and I guess I can't give a summary of it because I haven't read it yet, but I just wanted more Satoshi Kon stuff, so I bought this. So yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope I was able to give you guys suggestions for stuff you might want to pick up, stuff you might want to check out. I know no one asked for this, again. I know no one asked for this video at all. I just thought it'd be fun to do. I'm a very categorical collector person, so I kind of like to do this. And I don't know, I guess if you want some of the other members to show you what they got, or like some of their anime prized possessions, let us know down in the comments. And like I've said in previous videos, group reactions will start back up when the fall semester starts up again. Our college is thankfully doing in-person classes safely. So hopefully we'll all be together again. We can do reactions. Until then, through the summer, we're going to be doing more of those Zoom calls you've been seeing. We're trying to come up with different stuff to show you guys, like this. I don't know if anybody wants this, but you got it. So, yeah, just thank you guys for being patient with us. I hope all of you are staying safe and healthy in these very interesting times. So, until then, thank you for watching, and we'll see you around.